Hello my dear Aries, this is your love and spirituality reading for the time between May 16 and May 31st, 2018 with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in the order of most liked video, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button for your sign so I read for you bright and early. I have put astrological information for the month of May in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself in the reading, or as the reading is like about you, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. For this reading I used Resent Tarot by Deva Padma, and I will start shuffling your cards. So when I open your deck here, dear Aries, I see integration. It's the Alchemist card in the reversed, and Eight of Cups, letting go. So it might be that you are dealing with some entity or situation that's not really, it feels like it's not really cooperating with you. And I'm thinking you are practicing on letting go of things that doesn't work, or where people are not able to compromise or give themselves fully to a project. It might also be that someone is going to let you go because there's no cooperation. So if you want to, if you know that you have done everything in your power to do the best you can to get the situation on its right keel, then relax and whatever happens, happens. And if you need to let go of a person or a situation that's kind of not giving you it all, they are not applying themselves to you, or the situation isn't giving itself to you, you can let go with good conscience. And if you want to keep a situation running, it's time to start to compromise and come together and learn from each other. And yes, okay, so the 8 letting go card, it's 8 of Cups, so it's about like when you have filled people with your energy, you gave them things, gave them all of you, but you never got anything in return. So then it can be time to take a step back. You don't have to leave a person forever. You just need to stop what you are doing with over-functioning, okay? So I call the divine with love and light, and here we have totality together with the letting go. So totality is 5 of Wands, is connected to all the 5 cards. That's so 5 of Wands is battle, 5 of Swords is conflict, war, 5 of Cups is being disappointed, 5 of Pentacles is being left out in the cold. So it's all these kind of things that can occur in a relationship or in a situation because we don't really understand each other and we don't communicate in the best way. So if you're finding yourself in constant battle, you might need to also detach from the outcome of things. Maybe you don't have to win, you don't have to have it your way. If a person doesn't love you enough, let it go. You can't force them to love or like you, or to apply themselves to a situation in the way you want. It's not about that you are wrong. It's just that the other person, if they are not giving everything, then you can't force them. You can't control this. So if the 5 totality card is about, it's kind of a building a house together, and if no one wants to cooperate, then maybe you should build your house alone. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and here we see consciousness with letting go. So it's about being like awake and aware and seeing what's working and what's not working, and the things that doesn't work, let them go. Give them a chance to work themselves out on their own, instead of putting in such a hard work until you exhaust yourself. If people doesn't want to help, then maybe the project, either you go alone with it, or you kind of just let it go too. It can be a little bit like letting go of one's dreams, but it is because you see the reality and you understand this with letting go of control. And it's not personal. It's not about you or what you could have done instead. If you feel that you have done everything you could, you don't have to fear this, because I think the practice right now is to see what's working for you and what's not. So you don't put apply yourself into projects that's doomed because the other person isn't as interested, or they haven't understand what it's all about, or it might be some kind of projection going on where you want one thing but another person thinks that you want something else, and they are starting to, it's like I'm seeing like a person doing this, or a donkey that doesn't want to move. So some of you might have this view on maybe your partner, or someone at work, someone working on a project with you, a family member or something else, that they kind of don't cooperate with you. So just see this, and if instead of forcing things, let it go. See what can be developed just on its own accord. Or sometimes when we have put a lot of energy into a situation and we just stop putting in energy into it, and it kind of fails, then maybe it wasn't meant to be in the first place, okay? So it's very easy to become codependent when you apply yourself like this into a situation. So I call the 6 elements earth, wind, fire. Here we have understanding. It's a page of cups, and it comes in the reversed. So the page of cups is giving gifts, is by being very pure and honest. Purity and honesty, it's very skills that's needed in almost all your situations, but here it seems like you need to put a logic above this purity that you have. It might be that you want to throw yourself out in a situation because you love the person so much, or the dream is so vivid, but here you need to see what's logic, not in the sharp, hateful way, but just more like watching a situation. You don't have to do so much about it, just watch. See where you need to work so hard so your fingers is bleeding, and stop doing that. It's as simple as that. You don't have to be angry, you don't have to be mad, irritated, disappointed, anything. So 6 elements, earth, wind, fire, water, spirit and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading. Here we have laziness. It's 9 of cups. So this card says a lot of things, because a lot of people have put a lot of different meaning into this card. So 9 of cups, for the first thing I got was that if you belong together with a person, they need to show it too, okay? They need to feel your needs as you feel their needs. And it's also this, that you can't lose your soul family, okay? They will always be with you. So that's another thing. And also, if you really want someone and you feel like you haven't done the work, well, it's time to do the work, okay? Not just sitting there and feeling comfy with the situation. It might be that some of you feel that, for example, if you have a romantic partner, that you have everything is beautiful between you two, while the other person is kind of almost dying, okay? With 8 of cups, it's like 2 people. 8 of cups is one person. They feel like they are in a very dark place. They have given it all. It's like the other person doesn't notice. The other person doesn't notice because they are very comfy. They feel like, yeah, I got it made for me. So it might be that one person is getting their will through in this situation and the other person is not. You need to find out who that is. If you are the one that gets your will through, it might be that you are getting your will through on the cost of your relationship. So you'll soon see the backside of this person in which you are in a relationship with, because they are tired of doing everything for you, or vice versa, okay? It might be the other way around, that you have spoiled the person to the degree that they don't understand what's the problem, because you are pampering this person, or you're fixing everything in this project, so no one knows how much work it is that's being applied here. So we need to make it visible by just doing our fair share, and then leave it up to the rest. Leave it all up to the rest. I'm hearing a song here, but I can't really place it. Leave it all the rest. It might be Linkin Park. Well, maturity, chance. If I remember, it's 10 minutes. If I remember, I will check out what kind of song that is, because it's something that this message in the song is going to give you kind of a second chance, or if you see something in a certain way, you might understand where the chance is. And we also have possibilities wants to show its face here. It's 2 of Wands, so it's about also having self-control and choosing what's best in the situation, not just choosing like out of your... Here you have a Queen of Cups in reverse, so it's being very dramatic, emotional, and if I don't get the love from this person, I will die. Or if my dream doesn't come to fruition, I can as well, there's no meaning. So try to be a little bit more adult about it. Try to hold your horses a little bit, keep yourself together. So the chance is still there, it's just, it needs some adjustment. Here you have the sharing card, that's you, Aries. So, I want my dear Aries to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Oh, so it's timing. I kind of love that. So, I will just tune in for a few seconds to your energy and your reading, Aries. Okay, so my dear Aries, this is your future there, and this is your now, and this is your past. And in the past we have creativity, so it's again kind of saying that some entity is over-functioning, maybe smothering people around them, wanting things in their way. It can be also a person that's over-emotional and kind of force people into behaving in a certain way because so they can feel good. But if they feel good, the other person doesn't feel good. So we need to compromise. It needs to be half and half. And this is how we learn so much more. If we always get things in the way we want them to, we never learn. We never take the step out of our comfort zone, and we always stays the same. So I'm thinking this feels again like the Queen of Cups thinks it's like a little bit of a fragile entity that's a little bit over emotional and puts a lot of responsibility on what's happening on the outside. Like if you would just have been doing this, or if you just would have been better in this, or then things would have been better. But it's actually the responsibility is yours. So if you are this entity that might be a little bit codependent, a little bit dramatic, a little bit suffocating, you need to start to take responsibility. It's like we can manipulate people with being passive aggressive, or being don't kick on me, I'm so small, I'm so fragile. So to avoid direct conflict. But this is like guerrilla warfare a little bit, like a person doing things in sneaky ways so they get the will to without anyone can get crossed at them. It's like Holy God's mother, but it's like someone has decided themselves that they are this Holy Mother. So and it's of course coming not from any evil, but from a place of stress and taking on too much responsibility, doing things like being the martyr a little bit. If I do everything for everyone else, I won't ever have to quarrel, and they will give me everything I need. So it's not true, of course. And here we have past lives and this unconsciousness. So it's a karma. Some person in this situation has a karma. It's I'm a victim. I have done all this for these people. They need to be good towards me, and don't hit me. I'm too weak. So, and this person is probably not weak at all. It's just a survival skill. It's just a survival strategy as anyone else survival strategy. And the counterpart of this, if one is like holier than holy, they are going to have like a rebel on the outside, like someone's really messing about and not taking responsibility. And so this makes the polarities even bigger, and this one can really feel like, oh, I'm a victim, and this one can really feel suffocated. So it's perfect if we want to live like that. Here we have exhaustion, and it's the 9 of Wands. So 9 of Wands is the person using a lot of their strength. They have connection with their strength, but they might use it in the wrong way a little bit. Either to get upper hand or to fight for something, so they will get approval, like a soldier in a war. I want the badge of honor, but not really doing the thing that's good in their own opinion. And I'm having this feeling again with like working so hard that my finger bleeds. And here we have this sharing the Aries card together with, it's Capricorn here, and here you have Leo in Jupiter in the reversed. So it's some kind of attention seeking thing, or people not being like, they can't be really adult, they can't be the bigger person, they can't be a good example. But these two cards come in the upright position. It's just that there's some, we try to live up to something that we don't have to live up to. And I think this entity here, probably mostly Aries, are feeling like they have to do all the work and they are exhausted, they can't do it anymore, and they have taken all the responsibility. And this side kind of doesn't want any responsibility. Don't look at me, I won't solve this situation for you. So they are a little bit acting irresponsible and maybe a little bit like a baby. Okay. So mother and a baby. And it doesn't have to be, the mother doesn't have to be a female. It can be the male taking a lot of responsibility, and the female is just not helping. Okay, and here we have helping, ordinariness. It's the 8 of Pentacles. So it's a card where we put our beautiful willingness into a situation and we try the best we can to fix things. So if both entities are doing this is perfect. But if only one person does it, it's going to be lopsided and we are not going to reach our dreams. So sometimes we need to show the way, like with the 6 of Wands that we saw in the reverse. Someone needs to be the bigger person and show the way so the other can follow. We become like the people we are hanging around with. So it's not a bad thing to take a lot of responsibility, but it comes to a point where you are doing it too much, and the other person gets spoiled instead of like following you. And it usually comes when there's no respect between people. If you respect the person, you want to be like them, and you try the best you can to honor them. But if there's no respect, there's no meaning into being the bigger person or show a good example. If the person doesn't respect you, they are not going to learn anything from you. They are just going to use you. And we have projections here in the reversed, and the source, it's the Ace of Wands, 7 of Cups, 3 of Cups. It can be also that one person is out amusing themselves, maybe not even, like there could be a person not being faithful in this situation, and the other person is very responsible and faithful, and so it can be also someone is running around being a baby and not taking responsibility for the household or for getting the project done or for taking care of the kids or whatever, and one person is doing a lot of this work. We need to look at how we spend our time as well. So we spend our time with both work and joy, so it's balanced. If we are all work and no fun, the other person will be all fun and no work. So that is a risky behavior, because then this person that works a lot is going to be the one on the losing end eventually. Maybe not total, because they might have saved money and bought a house and like have a stable economy, but the other person is going to be very reckless and irresponsible. So it's very easy for this person to become betrayed in any kind of way. It can be with money or different things, or not just like not taking responsibility. So here is the past. It's May, April, beginning of May. It can be your whole life as well. And here we have maturity. It's this chance I was talking about. It's like a seed. I read today again about Aries being the one that God sent as the one that's taking care of all the seeds, or spreading the seeds, or creating project everywhere, and being like the the one that puts the seeds to the soil, but you are not supposed to be the one that follow the project all the way to fruition. You are just supposed to be the one that sends out the seeds. So maybe you have got it wrong and doing it all from A to Z. And here we have laziness. So this is this one person that's a little bit spoiled, sits very safe in their environment. They have got the thing that they wanted. It's like a windfall of beautiful things. It doesn't have to be a bad thing, but we have seen the card in the other context when I shuffle. So, but in this context, if I've seen only these two cards, I would say that you have a chance to fulfill your dreams here. There's a beautiful chance of something happening. Like if you would start to envision what it is that you want, it will come to you, because this is tremendous cards for creation. You have the seed, you have the imagination, so it's just to start creating beautiful things. But it's also like the typical Aries creation power. And here we have this Five of Swords. So it seems like there's a problem with creating when you creating yourself for yourself. No problem. You creating things together with other people, big problem. Okay, so when there's you're about to cooperate with other people, either it might be that you're over functioning or under functioning, or you want things all your way, and or someone else want the things their way, and you always budge, or you always get your will through. So it's some kind of imbalance here. So I'm thinking when you are alone, there's no problem with creating. As soon as there's other people involved, it gets in this harmony. And why? It has something to do with this feminine energy. So I'm thinking it's the mother has a lot of wisdom. She feels very wise, and she feels like if everyone does things in the way she does them, everything will be fine. Okay, no one will get hurt, the job will get done, and people will be like fed and clothed, and everyone will be happy. And so I'm thinking someone has very little confidence in other people's abilities, since the card comes in the reverse like this. So you might need to look if this is you. Maybe if you feel like you are doing everything for everyone else, maybe you are not letting them doing the things that they could do, because maybe you are more skilled in something, and therefore you are not it's easier for you to do the thing yourself than to like have patience enough to guide someone else through how to do it without getting like totally worked up with them not doing it exactly in the way that you want. So that might be the problem, and that might be why you get so tired with people, because they are not skilled enough to do things in the way you want, and they don't want to do it. And why they don't want to do it is probably because you have too high of demands also. So for some of you this might be true. And here we have the now. So the now is second part of May 2018, and here we have morality. So it's the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, it might well be this feminine energy that's a little bit like a know-it-all, because the morality here, Queen of Swords, she is very, very intelligent. Okay, she can see things from above and calculate whatever is going to happen before it happens. And if people doesn't follow her, she will get upset. But often she don't tell. She might say with some harsh few words that, well, it's better if you do it in this way. And then when people doesn't do it in that way, she will just sigh and like frown her mouth a little bit and walk away. So it might be that you are dealing with a person like this, or you need to start to communicate a little better and warm up a little bit. Not be so like freaking perfectionist. Okay, so either you're dealing with a perfectionist, but if you're dealing with a perfectionist, you have a perfectionist inside of you as well. So it goes both ways. If you see it on the outside, it's mirrored from the inside. You are the projector, so you can't really blame the person on the outside. You need to write a list like, this is how horrible this person is, and then you turn it all around and you write it, this is how horrible I am, and then you will recognize yourself and in what situation you are doing this, and change. It's very hard, but at least you have the awareness then, so it's easier to do something about it. This energy doesn't mean no harm. I think no one means any harm here. Everyone wants, it feels like it's sweet, but people have misunderstood each other. Okay. Next card, it's letting go, and it comes underneath laziness. So it's what I said. If you feel like you're on the top of the world, you don't care, no one can get to you, you are perfect and everyone else is a fool, then you're sitting in a glass house that's about to break, and people that might be valuable to you is not going to put up with this anymore. And it might be the other way around, as I said as well, that you are you feel like you have done too much, and that people are not applying themselves or helping. But as I said, see the black in this energy, it's like no one has really gotten a chance to do things in a good way either. It's like you lose temper with them so quickly. If you have a lover that's a little bit like they don't know how to treat you, so you will feel good in the relationship. You don't have the patience to talk with this person again and again, and put them straight again and again, and explain yourself and how it feels for you, and what's happening within you when you are, and how you can solve it instead, and new ideas. It's like, okay, they don't want to do this, they must be a bad person, and then it's like it's just a wall of silence. So if you feel very angry with a person, look at how you have explained yourself to them. Maybe you didn't explain yourself at all. Maybe with these kind of cards, you expected someone to be a mind reader, that they should know, or you think that they know you because they are so close to you. So it feels like you have this connection, but actually they don't know you at all, because with this energy, either it's Aries or not, it's like walking a little bit on a minefield. You don't know when this person is going to look snarky at you, or like put her nose high up in the air and swing her coat and walk away like tick tick tick, and be very crossed at you for weeks to come. So it's a little bit like a terror is what I'm feeling, but no one means any harm is what I'm thinking. It's just like a lot of old things here, like things that we did when we were small, like siblings rivalry. She got more juice in her glass than I got, or she got more in allowance than I got, or her clothes are nicer than mine, or whatever it is. It's like when we feel, it's like siblings rivalry. So in a relationship, we have kind of stepped down from being grown-ups to becoming like small children that kicks each other on the leg and pull each other's hair. So it's unawareness. It's like you are regressing into childhood, and it might happen, for example, when you go into love relationships. Then we have been so adult, we were so cool, we were this great person, being so good towards everyone else and tolerant, and as soon as we went into a love relationship, we kind of became a little bit crazy. And it's because we go back to a pattern that we had when we were small. And I'm thinking here that either you have put yourself in like a siblings rivalry situation, or it's mother-child or something like this, that making one rebel and the other one being smothering. So what we need to do here is take a really good look at ourselves, not with the judgmental eyes, but with a little bit an adult eye, and see, okay, so if I were with my best friend here, or a client, how would I act? And then act like that if you can. That would probably solve a lot of problems in your situation. If you could be very adult, detach yourself from all the dramatic feeling inside of you, all the feeling of injustice. You might be unjustly treated. I'm not saying anything about that, but it's much better. It's much better like possibilities or chances to fix it if you become very adult and cool in this situation and non-dramatic, and you can see it from above, and you can take very logical decisions, even if it hurts, even if you need to let go of something that you really love, maybe just to prove a point for some that has been a little bit spoiled in this situation, because there's a lot of exhaustion here, and that might be the reason to why I'm feeling that it's like bombs or a minefield, because a person is exhausted, and when we get exhausted, we can just because we don't have the patience anymore, because we haven't taken really good care of ourselves. Maybe we have given everything to someone else and they didn't take care of us, and we didn't take care of us, so no one took care of us, and now here we are all exhausted and we have kind of nothing more to give. So this might be an air sign in your life acting like this, but it might as well be you. But if it's another person being like this in your life, it might be time to give them a little slack, because it's like they can't take anymore, and if you will push them more, probably they will be gone. It will be like a minor blowout here, and you, as this person is not so expressive, they will just be gone. That's what I'm feeling. Okay, so this is in the future, and we have new vision. So new vision, it's the Hangman card, but this is focusing on what happens when we kind of get out the hangman situation, where we don't let ourselves be stuck anymore. So when we let go of the rules that kept us in prison, or we take that decisions that frees us, and we sacrifice something in the process. So the sacrifice is very important. And we have both new vision here with the sacrifice and then letting go. And then we have comparison, that's a battle. So it might also be letting go of being the one that's right. Maybe you can give something to someone else. If you say, yeah, darn, I think you are right, that's actually like taking a piece of your ego and snapping it away and letting a little bit more of light shining into you. It's the same if you let yourself become humiliated. It's also like taking a piece of your ego and filling it with your soul instead. Not if you victimize yourself in the process, but if you do it because you're grounded, grown up, cool, secure, self-loving, and you just say, well, I hear what you're saying, and I think you are right. Then that's just an explosion of light inside of you, and it can be the new vision that we actually sacrifice our pride for someone else. And here we have experience, and it's in the reversed. It would have been better if it would have been in the upright position, but it's like someone doesn't want to do this. Okay, you don't want this experience. It's something new and unknown and something uncomfortable. So we kind of says no to this. There's a possibility here to actually raise someone else, or to raise yourself. This is a very strong card. Tree experience is like a car battery. It's like your energy field, but you don't want to use it to work together or to compromise with people. So that's turning this reading a little bit south, because then there's no cooperation. If one person is exhausted and the other person is like coming in and taking the responsibility where the other one now don't have the energy to continue, that could save the whole situation, and things can go back to harmony again. Because this is how I feel, like one person has been lazy and the other one has exhausted themselves, and when this person can't exhaust themselves anymore, there's no one catching them. So this might be what's going on with you. No one's catching you when you don't have the strength to go on, and that kind of says something about the relationship that you have. If no one is stepping in when they see you don't have the strength to go on, then maybe this relationship is worthy of sacrificing. But it's a little bit sad, because this is, I think, the opportunity here. The opportunity is for the other one to see what's needed and step in and take a bigger role in this situation. So either it's you or it's the other person. If it's you, it's easier, because then you can just do it. If it's the other person, you can't control the outcome. You can just act accordingly to what's being done. So if someone is not taking the responsibility, you might need to sacrifice that situation, and it's like you can't really control things in that situation. But if you are the one that here you have the creator, so it's usually Leo, but it's Aries in this situation. It can be a Leo, of course, also a Sagittarius as well, if you're dealing with another fire sign. But here you have the chance, you see this, maturity, letting go, and the creator. So if someone is being grown up here and taking over the role as the leader, when the old leader kind of fails and says, I don't have the juice in me anymore to do this, I give up, and the other one takes over, even if it's a little bit humiliating, it can mean falling from one's throne. Maybe we were pampered before, we had not someone that loved us to the moon and back, and it felt so good, and we were always taken care of, always pampered. If we were angry, they fixed things, so we didn't have to be angry. They changed whatever they were supposed to do or wanted to do, so we get pleased. But here it's like this person has gotten enough, and they have no more to give. So it's time for the other person in this situation to take over the responsibility. And it's like this, it's usually like this in relationships. Maybe we have one person, for example, in a love relationship, that has flirted with this person and really wanted them. They were their dream. So if I have this person, my dream will be fulfilled. And when they got this person, they did everything in their power to keep them. But eventually they felt, well, is this really worth it? It seems like this person doesn't even care about me. I have given my heart, my life, my everything to this person, and it seems like they don't care. And eventually the dream starts to fade for this person, and this person isn't the dream anymore. They are more becoming a nightmare, and this is when the relationship is about to break. But then the other person has the chance to see what's going on and kind of snap out of the yummy pina colada vacation kind of lifestyle, and start to help being a co-creator for this relationship. So that is if you are in a romantic relationship. If you are in another kind of relationship or working a project with someone, this kind of the same applies. It's also in that someone is doing more work. Sometimes in family it can be very cemented, like one person will do the work for a whole lifetime. But it's in this time, this kind of pattern is changing, because people doesn't have the strength to do it in the way that they done things before, because we are going through a very exhausting passage with the whole planet. So people can't just do things against their soul's purpose anymore. It will exhaust them to the brink of being like ashes and dust. So to survive, a person needs to start to say no, and this is what I'm seeing happening here. So I'll read a central card here that seems very important. It's an 8, and you have an 8 here, so it's connected to being like taking in more of your soul, sacrificing your ego, becoming the bigger person, becoming adult, also following your heart, following your passion, not budging. It's like being a knight in shining armor a little bit. Either you're a male or a female. In this image of lotus leaves in the early morning, we can see the rippling of the water that a drop has just fallen. It is a precious moment, and one that is full of poignancy. In surrendering to gravity and slipping off the leaf, the drop loses its previous identity and joins the vastness of the water below. We can imagine that it must have trembled before it fell, just on the edge between the known and the unknowable. To choose this card is a recognition that something is finished, something is completing. Whatever it is, a job, a relationship, a home you have loved, anything that might have helped you to define who you are, it is time to let go of it, allowing any sadness but not trying to hold on. Something greater is awaiting you. There are new dimensions to be discovered. You are past the point of no return now, and gravity is doing the work. Go with it. It represents liberation. In existence, there is nobody who is superior and nobody who is inferior. The blade of grass and the great star are absolutely equal. But man wants to be higher than others. He wants to conquer nature. Hence, he has to fight continuously. All complexity arises out of this fight. The innocent person is one who has renounced fighting, who is no longer interested in being bigger, higher, is no longer interested in performing, in proving that he is someone special, who has become like a rose flower or like a dewdrop on the lotus leaf, who has become part of this infinity, who has melted, merged, and become one with the ocean, and is just a wave, who has no idea of the I. The disappearance of the I is innocence. So it's what I'm talking about, that someone needs to step down from the high horse a little bit and start to understand that if I want something in my life, I can't just look down from my throne. I need to apply myself and do the work. So it's the other. This is kind of the answer to what's needed to work together. Okay, try to fix it together, not trying to look invincible or cool, but actually opening one's heart, being vulnerable, and showing another person that they are worth it. Okay, so this might be what you are waiting for, that someone will finally say that you are worth it. But you need to check if you have a person like this that's kind of sitting on the throne in their life. Check inside how you are putting different aspects on you of you on a throne, while other aspects of you are not as worthy. So if maybe you like your logic sense very much, but you don't like your heart. You put it like somewhere in the gutter. So if it's on the outside, it's on the inside. So just to check inside. When you start to heal the person in the mirror, your life will heal as well. Okay, so Wild Kuan Yin Oracle for my dear Aries viewers. And here we have Lady of Lasha Descends. It's a very beautiful card. 35. How hard you have been working. You have accomplished so much by your own efforts. You are on a path to me, a path that at times seems difficult and perhaps even dangerous. Yet in order to reach me, you are willing to take the journey. It's kind of the ordinariness card, giving up your will for a higher will. You have shown your commitment, your refusal to turn back even when much is asked of you. I see some of the pearls that lie before you, and I see that it's not necessary for you to enjoy them. So I come to you. No longer do you need to seek. I bring to you what you have been seeking. So for some of you that's being in a very lopsided relationship, it might be like you don't need to be in this kind of situation anymore. You can wake up and you don't have to, like, some of you might be, it's like you're setting to go after people that they aren't really helpful. And you can change this setting now. It's what I'm feeling. So you shouldn't continue a codependent relationship. The path before you, leading you towards the destination you desire, lies in wait. You may continue upon your current path of pursuit if you so choose. It is, however, not necessarily going to become easier to continue that journey. At times it may seem even more difficult, as though the path is becoming steeper, more strenuous as you begin your ascent to the mountaintop, requiring even more effort from you. So you have reached a point in your journey where you must let go. It's the letting go card in the center. Do not fear that you have to give up your quest. The Divine Mother wishes to give to you what you have been seeking. She has compassion for your plight and wishes to become a bridge between your human methods of endurance and effort by greeting you as a friend with a heart full of merciful grace, bearing gentle comfort and a special gift. But you have to be willing to stop driving, to stop pushing. You have to give up trying to take, to force, to make your journey happen. What you have been seeking is coming to you. There is no need to go out searching or striving anymore. You have proven yourself. Now it's time to trust and become receptive to what life has in store for you, knowing that the Divine Mother has acknowledged you, the desire, and affirmed her intentions to deliver it to you. It's time to shift gears from pursuit to receptivity. For many of you, you have been over-functioning and have not been able to get back from the world. You have tried and tried so hard. But maybe this also what you have tried for is not what's going to make you happy in the long run. So it might be that what I said to you earlier, that your dream has been a little bit tainted because you had some certain patterns driving you to want to get love from the wrong crowd, okay? So it might be that you need to adjust this now and start to see the pattern of how you have been trying to get approval from people that don't approve of anything, or they can't apply themselves to anything. You want someone to take responsibility that have never taken responsibility. So you need to see where you are asking the impossible, and why you are asking the impossible is because you are set out to fail, because you have this pattern inside of you of not being loved, of not being helped, of not being cherished, worshipped, taken care of, whatever it is. So you have instead worshipped others and taken care of others. So just it's a little bit of crude awakening, might be, for those of you that have this pattern, and it's going to take a time to shift. It's not like, oh, you're recognizing it and then Prince Charming or Princess Beautiful is coming through the door and replacing this bastard that you that you were with. It's not going to be like that. First you need to find yourself and the love and respect inside yourself, and set everything straight inside of you so the pattern can change, because if you don't change the pattern, it will go on repeating. Okay, so that's what I saw for Aries this time, and I hope you will take really good care of yourself. It doesn't really seem like you have so much problem. It's just that you kind of need to wake up another level, like on another, you're going to see something more clearly, and you are going to have to make a decision. So it's not it doesn't look that bad. It's a lot of it's a lot of things is up to you, so you have a lot of control right now. So I'm not worried. I welcome you back to my June reading that I will perform in the mid-May. Okay, bye bye.